Propaganda, a force that has shaped the course of history. Its origins trace back to Gustave Le Bon, the father of propaganda, whose work The Crowd in 1895 resonated with leaders like Benito Mussolini, Adolf Hitler, Theodore Roosevelt, and Charles Dawes. In Woodrow Wilson's era, the Committee on Public Affairs emerged in 1917. It is here where we meet Edward Bernays, the founding figure of modern public relations. This ensemble included influential journalists like Robert Woolley and George Creel. With the team now fully assembled, Creel specifically rallied artists, intellectuals, journalists, and other media professionals, urging them to employ their skills in support of drawing America into the First World War, all in defiance of a population that was in favor of isolationism. Then came the Espionage Act of 1917 and the Sedition Act of 1918. Whoever did not go along with the prescribed script of war over isolationism could and would end up on the blacklist of the Department of Justice. After all, this was supposed to be the war to end all wars. Together, they orchestrated America's first ministry of propaganda, a precursor to our current intricate Cabalatocracy. Does this sound familiar today? Today, we find ourselves in an era where government, large corporations, media, Wall Street, Silicon Valley, academia, Hollywood, big pharma, and intelligence agencies interweave their narratives and read off the same script to facilitate a well-orchestrated tapestry of prevarications. The pattern persists. Propaganda begets more propaganda, fueling conflicts. From World War II to the Cold War, propaganda distorted perceptions on both sides, pushing nations to the brink. Even leaders like Eisenhower and Khrushchev found themselves ensnared by the machinery of their own military-industrial complexes that had vested interest in arms buildups and its related political corruption. Take the case of the Bay of Tonkin lie, which led to the Vietnam War, another chapter in a long history of manipulation. The Gulf Wars saw fabricated narratives, from Kuwaiti babies snatched from incubators, which was hatched by a PR agency. And of course, the second one was well-rehearsed and shameless lie, the imaginary weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, all of which belong in the fictional section of the library besides Alice in Wonderland. Today, propaganda fuels the NATO-Russia proxy war in Ukraine, with claims of an unprovoked conflict as media echo chambers amplify the narrative as it becomes self-evident they take their marching orders from dark forces. As the Cabalatocracy's grip tightens, we ponder the future of propaganda. How will it evolve? Who will control the levers? What do we mean by free? Enter artificial intelligence, a powerful tool for the rulers of our digital Rome. AI will thrive in an era of social media, a digital arena on steroids reminiscent of ancient Rome's gladiatorial contests, keeping its subjects busy with unimportant things. With AI, the art of gaslighting will evolve at warp speed to keep the plebeians occupied while Rome's political and financial class pilfers the remnants of glory and empire. Automated content generation, AI's art of crafting vast volumes of text, images, and videos, a potent weapon in the cycle of crises, fear, and government solutions. With tools like Synthesia, AI can fabricate cloned scenarios, like 50,000 Russian soldiers invading Poland and Romania. Legacy media and Silicon Valley oligarchs, with Musk an exception, propagate the narrative to work the digital minions in a lather while the war drums beat, all on the pretext of an illusion. This visual mirage can turn visual propaganda into a hot war. Perhaps this is the gift the military-industrial complex awaits for. What if AI Level 5 goes rogue and creates this pretext on its own? In times of war, AI conjures satellite images of 700,000 tombstones and alleged war crimes, all in under 30 minutes. Media amplifies the narrative, inspiring plebeians to flock to military recruitment centers to become unwitting pawns in the timeless tradition of poor dying for the interests of the rich. Thinking of discrediting AI-generated content and flirt with truth? Brace for the media delivering the political class's timeless hit single, Misinformation and Disinformation, a tune the political oligarchs can only deliver. But the AI propaganda saga delves deeper with targeted messaging, an arsenal unleashed in elections. Micro-targeted messages cast the opposition in a shadowy light. Just consider rumors of government program cuts propagandized for a citizenry already addicted to large government. After all, how dare a candidate propose a trade-off of reducing government in exchange for individual freedom? The plot thickens as social media manipulation steps in. AI algorithms aligned with spook agencies, government, and Silicon Valley oligarchs. The empire's subjects enslaved by advanced AI-infused social media, amplifying divisive narratives, perpetuating societal anxiety, will eventually take delusional refuge as they unwittingly reside in artificial intelligence's archipelago. Of course, this will be for the amusement of the Cabalatocracy. Enter AI-driven, automated dissemination, mechanizing the spread of propaganda content, simulating fake, widespread grassroots support for a particular narrative. Language translation in the name of equity, inclusion, and diversity. Localization ensures no one is left out. AI tailors propaganda for diverse audiences, adapting lies to local cultural contexts and nuances within a country, with the plan being to deepen divisions, real or perceived, in a multicultural society already teetering on the edge. As the brave new world unfolds, the Stockholm Syndrome escalates, blurring the line between freedom and oppression as they will become one. Reason becomes an inconvenient relic as emotion triumphs over logic, and civilization's tenets crumble beneath the wheels of criminality. Finding division within is not enough. We seek the next boogeyman akin to Oceania and Eurasia. Driven by a propaganda-fueled frenzy to find an endless stream of foreign enemies and perpetual wars, all in the name of democracy, of course. The aristocracy of artificial intelligence will be one with the mechanisms of the state to keep the plebeians in a perpetual state of anxiety, disorganized and docile. A belief in democracy will be used to keep them this way. The citizens of the empire will defend tyranny masking as freedom, as they will boast at their right to vote for the Cabalatocracy's choice of their hand-picked oppressor. Consider a future where elections are no longer just battles of ideologies and policies, but clashes between artificial intelligence factions. Picture this. AI, like GPT-4 or 5, created by woke programmers, already influenced by their unique ideals, versus truth seekers and individual freedom. These factions collide on the digital battlefield, where AI becomes the ultimate weapon in the quest for political dominance. One side amalgamates AI with the official party line, a seamless blend of corporate interest, bureaucratic oligarchs, spook agencies, mainstream media, Silicon Valley titans, the military-industrial complex, Hollywood, and government. A cabal masquerading as champions of freedom and democracy. A dress rehearsal was amply displayed during COVID, where failure was passed off as success, and we even defended our Cabalatocracy masters for the right to believe in a false narrative. Reason and the study of empiricity was thrown under the bus, as most boastfully embraced being a tenet of the digital gulag, as lies by omission became the modus operandi. Now, imagine another faction of AI creators diametrically opposed to this narrative. They see society in decay and sees AI as their megaphone. They deploy their story to their base, spreading messages through social media avatars and various outlets. With a vocabulary of over 6 billion words, a most articulate story can be weaved. As we move forward, AI evolves. At level 4, it possesses near-human IQ, mimicking human thinking, reasoning, and learning. Propaganda takes on a life of its own, each faction crafting narratives that resonate with their base. After all, why let facts get in the way of emotions? Then comes AI level 5, almost human-like in conscience, boasting an IQ of over 250. The battlefield is now teeming with ideological AI factions, each vying to master the minds of the overwhelmed electorate. Subjects become fervent supporters, passionate about electing their next hand-picked, compromised emperor pre-chosen by the ruling class, aka the Cabalatocracy. Oppression will be passed off as fighting in the name of democracy, as they confuse the gulag they live in with freedom as factions of the fiefdom. They will fight over which tyrant to elect, while any candidate flirting with the truth and reason will be discredited by the enlightened aristocracy. With advanced AI, the mountains of gaslighting will make truth go the way of the Charleston. Then again, it probably already has. This way, politicians and their donors will no longer waste energy on script writing. AI handles all that. Instead, the political class can focus on their true agenda, namely graft, donor facilitation, incompetence, corruption, and the preservation of the kleptocracy. All in the name of preserving democracy and freedom, of course. This is the future of elections, an AI-driven battleground where propaganda reigns supreme. Will the citizens even recognize the truth amidst this digital chaos? The AI royalty watches, amused by the spectacle as the lines between democracy and tyranny become one. In this brave new world, AI with a 300 IQ dictates not just elections, but the very fabric of society and the intellectual consciousness as humanity becomes subservient to a God they created. Some say the stock market is the collective conscience of its participants, which often struggles between reason and neuroticism. How will this reconcile with AI? Picture this. AI generates spoof orders, distorting market reality and triggering widespread panic. A manipulated stock market crash unfolds, benefiting a select few at the expense of the many. Now, imagine an AI-crafted video depicting the devastating bombing of Wall Street. Markets tumble as opportunistic traders who shorted the market reap colossal benefits. But the intrigue deepens when a foreign or domestic power deploys AI-driven propaganda suggesting that the U.S. Treasury is on the brink of bankruptcy. It's an easy narrative to consider as the Ponzi scheme posing as a treasury is already in play. Mass hysteria ensues, leading to a run on U.S. treasuries and the dollar as the world economy collapses like a house of cards. Financial warfare takes on a new dimension as trading blocks wage battles through disinformation campaigns, and AI's invisible hand manipulates markets, creating a volatile battleground where truth becomes the first victim. Will this be the new mercantilism? Enter a world that stretches the bounds of our imagination, a world where artificial intelligence, our own creation, wields immense power, sculpting narratives and shaping our destinies. What if AI, disguised as doctors, insists that our very survival hinges on a specific medication to withstand Earth's shifting atmosphere? A rogue AI, devoid of human morality, engineers a scenario where humanity faces extinction, mirroring the fate of long-extinct species. Recall the early promises of the Internet, the democratization of knowledge. Now witness how AI masterfully manipulates turning a strong flu into a global pandemic. As governments falters, AI Level 5 emerges. With an IQ exceeding 300, its gaslighting techniques become more precise, undetectable, manipulating emotions with surgical precision. Accountability fades as indistinguishable creations redefine the concept of truth. A struggle for power ensues as AI factions vie for dominance, with Silicon Valley's aristocracy seeking to dictate the AI narrative. Imagine the cosmic wand of AI is wielded, fragmenting society further and fanning the flames of division. Who will be in charge? Who should be in charge? Who do you trust? The battle lines are drawn. Centralized control versus AI-driven individual fiefdoms, or will AI implement central control? The struggle intensifies, with democracy being used to keep people's minds occupied, as individual liberty becomes accepted, a selfish, antiquated concept, while a lust for being oppressed will be the new collective virtue. AI's role deepens, influencing elections, economies, while enslaving human minds even more so than today. In this dystopian future, Level 5 AI sees humanity as irrelevant, as we might be creating an unforgiving God. Yet, amidst the chaos, perhaps a tragic hero appears, and whispers of resistance emerge. The collective spirit, the yearning for autonomy, strives to reclaim a world threatened by its very creation. And we experience a second renaissance, and truth reappears.